Hello everyone, my name is Relax and Panic, and this is another reaction to The Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. It is episode 20, and you know what to do. As always, if you want to see the reaction, just go down into my descriptions, follow the links, replace the parentheses dot parts with real dots, and enjoy. Once you've done, feel free to come back here and hear my thoughts about this episode, so see you soon. For those that came back, welcome back. Now, we finally encountered the kids, it seems, and that's why I chose this picture, which is from the outro. So, what to say? That's a complete change of what we are going for, what we are doing. I mean, it was kind of to be expected that something like that is about to happen, because he made a promise. Rimuru made the promise to help the kids. But that was a very clean cut there. So, we are in our forest union, in our alliance of Yura, and the next thing we see just 3 days later is this cut towards the kingdom of mankind, one of the kingdoms, and the kids. So that was a fast one, very unexpected, but it is a complete different arc now, clearly. So this is what this episode is about, a short finishing to what happened before and moving over to the new story arc, learning about the kids, learning about summons and what the heck is going on there. So let's start in our alliance, right? As the episode did. Importantly, and I think very interestingly, was the fact that they did not only eat what they slaughter, but that they are thinking about how to use the scales of Charybdis, which, it might be wrong, but one of my ideas was like, oh, maybe we should have waited with killing it, so we could have more scales. Just let it regrow, like an infinite amount of scales to create light armor, and I can see that, clearly. Very light armor, but effective, and good weapons, and what else they had in mind over there. So, not bad. It makes sense, it's a little bit, if you take scales which are very, very small, and they are light enough to be thrown, or it was more like a whirlstorm there, right? You could make scale armor out of that, which is possibly incredibly efficient. So the question is, are you able, if we're talking about scale armor, how do you fix it on each other? If those scales are incredibly hard, you cannot punctuate them, so you cannot bring them together with whatever kind of wires or nails or whatever is used for that. You will possibly have to glue them. But a glued armor is for sure, on the one hand, not as flexible, and on the other one hand, it will not be as lasting, because the glue will be the weak point. It will break open. So I guess you need something that is hard enough to punch through the scales, but small enough that you only do little holes, because otherwise you lose the most of the scale itself due to the holes. So that's interesting, but I guess it's craftsmanship, so I'm pretty sure if anyone can do it, then it's this nation. And I mean, they do have one of the best craftsmen, armorers right now there, so they will do it, I'm pretty sure. Then we had the little scene with Milim and the other girls. So, however he did it, Rimuru was able to be with them in the bath, which he clearly enjoyed, I can see that. Although it might be that they're in his bath, I'm not sure there. And Milim, very out of nowhere, said a little goodbye because she has stuff to do. She has to do some work. And the question was, what are the merits of being a demon lord? So if it is more like a title, you reach a specific power level there, I guess. What are the merits apart from things like that people fear you and there are not many people opposing you? Sure. But is there like a specific merit bound to this title? So she's leaving, and she makes sure that all the other demon lords don't do any crazy stuff with the kingdom, with the alliance. And all of the girls told her not to be tricked by them. So, I mean, that tells us something about her as well, that everyone said that. She is one that is easily manipulated, maybe. I'm not so sure there, but she is too much of a joyful person, so it might be that they talk her into something. We will see. I'm pretty sure we will see her again. And then, like out of the blue, shortly after, Rimuru said the same. He said, I have to go, I have something to do. Which is due to this dream. And I'm not sure if it was just a dream, or if it was a memory from this time that kind of floated upwards again, or if there is somewhere deep inside a little bit left of Shizu, because he swallowed her and he absorbed her memories. So her ideas, her ideals are somehow inside him, maybe partially rooted, and they kind of pushed upwards into his consciousness. That's what I think. Just like a little reminder, hey, you promised something, let's go. So it affects him, clearly, you can see it, and so he goes out towards this kingdom, which went pretty well, by the way. So just Ranga and him. He has an ID by Fuse, which is good, so less problems there for him. And it's just 3 days, so sure, no question, Ranga is incredibly fast, but 3 days is really not much. Even if Ranga is an incredibly fast runner, you could guess that maybe it's for whatever kind of an army or so, it would be like 2 weeks, I guess, travel time, or at least for a trader. So they are kind of neighbors still. And then we have this city. What the heck? I mean, our city has grown quite nicely, yeah? But this city, the capital of the kingdom of Umgrasia, is just huge. That is a major city there. And they do have a lot of things that are way more modern than you would think. Although I kind of ask myself how much of it is in this guild, which has a grandmaster that is from Japan. So possibly it's like a remake due to him and wanting it, him trying to build something that reminds him of where he came from. So I guess that's why we have huge glass panes. And the architecture of this building itself looked very, very modern. And we have this teleporter who's a little bit like a lift, you know? I guess that's why. But still, it means that they are able to construct stuff like that, even if they need a lot more for it than we do in our world. So technology-wise and ability-wise, they are incredibly far. So that was a bit impressive there, right? And the church, which is a little reminder there might be something else coming in the future, because that's what I'm still waiting for. And I've seen on the map next to this kingdom there is a holy empire, the Holy Empire Riberius. And talking about churches, Holy Empire, yeah, you can kind of expect that there is something coming in the future. Oh, sliding doors, yeah. Good. And then we have this little encounter with Yuki. So Yuki is one of the former students of Shizu, as far as I understood, and he's the groundmaster of this guild now. I do understand that he attacked, because he thought, I mean, you see the mask, right? You know it is the mask of your teacher, the teacher you love. And the one thing that this thing says that enters your room is, hey, by the way, I'm a slime, I eat monsters that I beat, and I have this mask, which sounds a lot like, hey, I just ate your teacher, right? Which he did, by the way. So I can see the reasons for attacking. And then this counter from Rimuru by saying, I'm not a bad slime. So this sentence that he knows that was taught to Shizu by Yuki. That was very clever. I mean, it is the truth, it is very fitting, but it is additionally a reminder and a thing like, hey, I'm from your world as well. So all in one, very nicely put. And I I like the fact that Yuki so fastly adapts and says like, okay, let's talk. So he is able to switch if needed very fast, which shows us why he is this Grandmaster. He is pretty good at what he does. We have not seen much powers of him yet, so don't know there. But he is for sure a nice one. And I don't know, I was kind of expecting from a let's talk more like a let's talk what happened to Shizu. Let's talk about what you're doing here, how you got here. Maybe about this Forest Alliance. Nope. They just talked about mangas. That was funny as heck. That was very entertaining. So he is from Japan as well. He is from a time that is some years before Rimuru, I guess. I don't know how much. 10, maybe? Because I'm still not sure how this time delay works there. If when you're summoned, or you however else appear from our world to this world, are the worlds going in the same time frame, you know? Are they at the same speed? So that when you die 5 years ago, you arrived 5 years ago, and when you die 1 year ago, you arrived 1 year ago. So it's on the same speed, the timeline, or is it different? And for the summons, do they summon from now? Or can they summon from whenever in the past? Because we know that Shizu is there very long, so it might be it's just the same time frame. Makes it easier for everyone, right? Especially for us thinking about it. But if you're using magic to summon someone, you could potentially just go into the past as well. I mean, it's just a matter of more magic, I would guess. I think it is the same time frame, but we don't know. Yeah, so I talked about mangas a lot, and Rimuru created them for him. Which is kind of, I mean, it is maybe like the perfect usage of his abilities, but I kind of have to question how good his memory is there. Because it is one thing if you memorize the general thing that was inside, you know, how the story went on. That is one thing you could possibly memorize. But you don't memorize the exact pictures, the exact words, except for some very specific moments, right? Which are majorly important. But apart from that, every page, every word, every painting perfectly? How? Except he had photographic memory. And arguing with that the Sage ability gives him this, that would mean it goes backwards and is able to enlighten, to better the memories of the human he was before. Which is a bit... Yeah, well, let's just say he had a photographic memory, whatever. That would work. That's the only option I can see there. But it's still cool. So that. And they got clear with each other why Rimuru is there, so he wants to fulfill the wish of Shizu, which is really nice. And help the kids and search for a possible way to bring them back to their world. Which we now know there are multiple reasons for. So one thing is Shizu never really liked this world. Which makes sense. She was summoned there, she was ripped away from her mother. Summons, if they are kids, are very likely to die within 5 years. So I can see that as well. The body of a kid is not meant for so much power. So there were multiple reasons for her to bring the kids back, because she despised this world in many regards. And on the other hand, by bringing the kids back, she would save them, possibly, guessing that they lose their power. And that's a guess, right? Nothing else. So the question is if Rimuru could find a solution to make sure the kids survive even after the 5 years. So he has an option to find a way to either their bodies take this power, or to lower the power until they've grown enough. which I think he has some abilities, you know, right? Like maybe like create magicules out of their power, or absorb part of their power for a while at least. Just guessing. I think there are options for that, especially from Rimuru's side, but we will see. So we'll see. There is a way back, however. There has to be. As Yuki mentioned, there are those legends in our world about ogres, onis, dwarves, elves, you know, all this stuff. So there has to have been a connection in the past. And if there was one, then it's very likely you can recreate it or just open it up. You just have to find out how. And then oh yeah, we had a short talk about Hinata Sakaguchi. I'm not really sure about that one, but there was a mentioning in the past. So we have another young, more neither young, girl running around. I don't know how old she is by now. So she left when she was powerful when she was about 15. So she might be like 20 or anything like that now. And she's more powerful than Shizu was. Interesting. Waiting for her, right? That will be an encounter. There was a foreshadowing. We will meet her for sure. There's still this hero somewhere around we are waiting for, who even Yuki said she's like the hope of humanity itself in this struggle. Yeah, and then we met the kids. So I wrote their names down. They seem to be joyful, right? I mean, that's a really good thing. The good thing is they have each other. So if you are in this strange world and you have at least some friends there who are at monitor the same problem as you are. They have powers they are not completely in control of. They are in a different world, ripped apart from where they were before, but they are with each other now. And there are some teachers for sure who like them, you know, who are really trying to help them. Shizu in the past, Yuki and Rimuru now, so I guess that is a good thing. I like it. And we have a reaction from Veridora. And the question is he reacting to the kids? To one of the kids specifically, especially the one left to Rimuru in this picture, the little girl. Reminds me a lot of Shizu, just, you know, the facial type. Or is Veridora reacting to one specific kid, all of them? Or is it just this, hey, finished, I would be able to leave now? Which we are waiting for, right? We will see. I'm pretty sure in the next episodes we will get back to that and why he popped up. So, good episode. I like it a lot. And we will see how Rimuru is able to kind of get to the kids. That they trust him and he is able to help them, hopefully. Until the next time, feel free to comment, like and subscribe. My name is Relax and Panic. Goodbye and out.